Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day and Jed Hornbeak. Man, I can't wait to show you guys in person. Look at the, oh, you can actually see it. You see those river runs, how it's got those streaks and it goes everywhere that wasn't cut out? Man, that's on both sides. Jed Hornbeak, I don't know how he does it. He is a master. And then you look at, you see those, the patterns inside the downward fullers. Man, Jed is amazing. But that's not what we're talking about. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm sitting outside of Sapori di Napoli. This is my brother's pizza restaurant out here in Decatur, Georgia. Samurai Bird, rocking the shirt. But I'm sitting out here, and I really wanted to have like an expectations or what you didn't think or first impressions, maybe even video on some of the bros, some things that you guys didn't know about these people. And I want to start with Scabber because Scab and I have met before. We hung out in Savannah, Georgia, and then Atlanta, Georgia, and Scab is just a phenomenal guy. I mean, you don't get much more bro than Scab. Scab, aside from if you give him no reason not to like you, Scab will love you. That's Scab. Scab is gonna, all right, I'm gonna treat you like a bro until you make me not. And that's really who he is, and he comes across that way on film, and you could say, all right, he's putting on a show or it's an actor, this and that, maybe. That's Scab, and 100% real life, that's Scab. And when I met him in Savannah, it was just me and him, so I didn't get to see that because we were already tight. When we met in Savannah, we were already really, really tight. We were really cool. So I didn't get to see how he interacted with a bunch of other people. And when it was a bunch of other people and people that he'd never met in person before, he's walking out, he'll just give you a hug. I mean, until you give Scab a reason not to like you, Scab is gonna love you, man. He's got a super, super great quality. It's like a real cool, I want to say like the Christian quality, you know what I mean? It's like love thy neighbor type thing. Scab is love thy neighbor who's not a dick. That's Scab. And he is just a great dude. I'm going to tell you a funny thing about Scab, though. The guy is an anomaly. He is an anomaly. So, Scabber, when we go somewhere, when we're walking, he's a I'll get there when I get there kind of guy, right? He's like I'm just going to putter along. And, you know, we'll be walking and we stop, turn around, wait for Scab to catch up. Then we'll walk, wait for Scab to... He walks real slow. And you'd think he's a slow dude. Not when it comes time to disappearing. So... let's say you're walking and Scab's coming up behind you and you see this thing sitting on a table and you turn your head and look at it and go, damn, Scab, you need to see. Scab is gone. Scab is the fastest disappearing act, son of a bitch, I have ever seen in my life. It's like, you know, when Harry Potter throws that invisible cloak over and he just disappears. You could be talking with Scab, turn your head for 1 second, and Scab is in a different zip code. I don't know how he does it. I don't know where he goes. He's got one of those Rick and Morty portals. Scab can disappear like nobody's business. I thought that was kind of funny because it was unexpected. The last time we were together, it was just me and him, so he didn't have anywhere to disappear to. But man, Scab is gone, man. You wouldn't expect it. Joe, and the Scab, Choir Boys Outdoors. Sub. If you're not sub to his channel, check him out. Sub to his channel. Joe, JS Bladecraft. If you're not sub to his channel, sub to his channel. Joe is an appreciative dude. This is like talking to Joe. I've talked to Joe plenty of times on the phone. I've texted Joe a lot. We go back and forth videos and this and that. Joe, more than almost anybody I've ever met in my planet, anything you do, Joe appreciates, and he's not afraid to let his appreciation show. This is something I had no idea. When I met Joe, it's the first time, like through video and all that. All right, Joe's a New Yorker, so, you know, tough skin. You think that, you know, New Yorkers are a little bit just on their own. Joe is on a different wave than most New Yorkers you'll ever meet. I don't care what you did. If you went by a penny candy stand and you picked him up one piece of candy for a penny, Joe would treat you like you just bought him a Lexus, right? I mean, the dude, he's got such a open heart to where no matter what you do, and he might not tell you right then and there. He might not say, oh, bro, I really appreciate that. But once it settles and Joe is really just sitting, pondering in his own thoughts, and he thinks about things, he will come back to you a day later and talk about you bought him a penny candy and now dude, Joe, we went to the World of Coca-Cola. I took Joe and Scab to Coke. They've never been there. It's a must-see in Atlanta. You gotta go. And I took him to Martin Luther King Jr.'s house, his childhood home growing up, and got to get on the porch and this and that. And a full day later, Joe calls me up when I believe he was at the airport waiting for his Uber in New York. And he was just so appreciative. He didn't even wait till he got home. He just had to call me and say something. That's a phenomenal human being right there. And let's go. One of the funny things about Joe. Joe loves his coffee. But he doesn't understand if you don't love coffee. So true story. And aside from the sheath, we picked on him all weekend because instead of saying sheath with an H at the end, his New York accent says sheet. So we picked on him for sheet the whole time. But he's got such a good personality. He just rolls with it, laughs. He knows it's just a joke. He gets it. But he calls me up one morning. I'm playing basketball in our hotel. We had a rooftop basketball hoop, and I'm out there shooting every morning. And I get a phone call from Joe. Hey, you want a coffee? And I'm like, oh, I don't drink coffee. What's the matter with you? You don't drink coffee? And then and then all of a sudden his words turned to blah, 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 blah. Like Joe got mad at me because I don't drink coffee, and I thought that was hilarious. So if you're out with Joe somewhere and he offers you a coffee, say you got one, not you don't like one, because you're gonna get yelled at. So those are the two guys that I spent the whole time with, and those are the two guys whose impressions really, hit me hard. But then there was this guy right here, right? Samurai Bird. Samurai Bird, when I watch his videos, he's really like low tone, low key, plays everything cool. He's kind of like the Fonzie of katanas, right? He just plays everything cool. And you wouldn't know, but Samurai Bird in real life opens up, and he's funny, man. His wife is a freaking sweetheart and a baller. Boop, she was a basketball coach. Had a good time with her. Not that guy, a good time. But Samurai Bird, he's a funny guy, man. And it's not like I'm going to try to be funny. I'm going to say things to try to make a joke. He just is naturally funny. He's just one of those funny people. Like, you stand around him and you could just shoot the shit. And he's funny. You have a good time. I was really, really impressed with Samurai Bird. We had a great time. There's so many more I could talk about, but there's only one I'm going to mention. And that is right here, Jed Hornbeak. So expectations. You'd assume somebody to be a certain way, and then you meet them, and there's something that caught you off guard that you didn't know about this person. Not Jed. Not Jed. If you've ever seen a video on Jed, if you've ever caught him on Instagram, if you've ever heard us talk about Jed, every single thing we thought we knew about Jed Hornbeak is Jed Hornbeak. The guy, he's an absolute, like, God-fearing, real country boy, beautiful soul. And it's hard to say beautiful when you're talking about a man, but Jed is a beautiful man, and he gets it from his father. His father, I guess Jed was going to come alone to the show, and his father's like, I'll come with you. And he's like, all right. And his fiance, who is freaking awesome, great hair, his fiance, I don't think she was supposed to go. She just like, I'll go. And it became an event of three people you would never not want to meet. Every single one of them, like, belonged together. They were the same kind of person. They were just freaking amazing. It was like the kind of people that really, when you walk away from them, you go, I am so blessed that I got to meet those three people. And so that was just some of the stuff. I mean, there's other people, man. There's Walter Matthews and Joe Flowers from Condor, who, man, just awesome. And then Andre de Villers was the nicest. Okay, quick story I got to tell you. Andre de Villers, ADV Tactical, right? So I picked up, this I've been showing you. This thing is the Badlands buoy. This is the frag one. This is one of my all-time favorite pocket knives that I've wanted since the first time I saw it. So while I'm waiting for him and he's getting ready to package it up for me, I talked to his son, right? His son was there. I believe that's who it was, his son, because he was with his wife and his son. This kid, he's young, probably 15-ish, somewhere in there. And a real soft-spoken kid, real nice. And when he saw what I was walking away with, he tells me that his father loves this knife. He's like, oh, my father loves this knife. And this is a true story, and it cracked me up. He goes, my father loves this knife. One day he got attacked by a monkey, and he cut it in half. He said, 100% truth. He said, one day he got attacked by a monkey and cut it in half using one of these. And I start cracking up, and he's looking at me like he doesn't know why it's funny. And I said, this is not the kind of conversation that Americans generally have. I've never spoken to a single American who said, yeah, when I went out to the mall today, on the way in I got attacked by a monkey and had to cut it in half. It's just something that doesn't happen. That was a crack up. Man, I'll tell you what, every single person that saw this, every designer, every maker, every knife person, Hope, you'll hear Scab talk about Hope. She has a store in Syracuse. When she grabbed this, she's like, it's like a Medford on steroids. And it was the greatest way to explain it, because it really is. This thing is a beast. If you want a great knife, this is where you go. But that's all that. I want to finish this video because I don't want to let it drag. But it was just really cool. So it's like when you meet somebody, you don't know what to expect. Those are the things that I found about these people that I wasn't ready for. And we always talk about my hand size on the channel. I always talk about my hands are double X, my hands are bigger than yours. So Scab, I think he really wanted to see, like, let's really see what it is. So Scab put up his hand. He's like, put up your hand. And my hand was like this to Scab's hand. And he goes, God damn, Donnie. That's so funny. But it was just a great time. Blade Show, guys. There's going to be another one in Utah and then somewhere else. Maybe Texas or somewhere. If you get a chance to hit a Blade Show and just go talk to the people, go to Blade Show. It's fan-freaking-tastic. We're going to be at some more, so there'll be more chances to come out and get in and just hang. But Jed Hornbeak, golly, man, got so much love for you, man. Scab and Joe, you're my guys. Everybody else, love y'all. Thanks for the shirt. Thanks for the shirt, Samurai Bird, you son of an awesome bastard. All right, so that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Till next video.